Hi, in today's video we're going to see about the 7 important tips for an interview in UAE. So if you're someone looking for a job in UAE, if you're a fresher, just completed CPC or no experience at all, or if you are an experienced coder but you have no idea about the UAE coding, you have experience back in India or Philippines or some other part of the world and you are coming to UAE for a medical coding job, then this video is for you. Let's dive in. This is Surya Johnson, your medical coding guide. Thank you. Hi, in this video we're going to discuss about all the 7 important interview tips. This interview tips not only covers about the interview, that is about the UAE guidelines and whatever it is, it also covers in general interview tips. You should know the interview culture and everything, right? So I'm going to cover everything in this video as general interview tips along with UAE fresher or an experienced coder interview tips. So let's get right into that. This video is for those who consider that you have been called for an interview, like you have called for an interview, so you should follow these 7 important interview tips for a successful interview. So number 1 is, like you always know, be on time. Yes, this is repeated all around the internet. Like, what is the first interview tip? Be on time. So in order to be on time, because this place is a new place, you're from some other country, so you should know the location exactly. It's not like your hometown or your home country where you know everything, so it's an easy peasy job. So here, because there are 7 Emirates here and you've been applying to all the Emirates, so you have got interview from some of the Emirates, you should know the location, how to reach to the location, because you should be on time for the interview. Because if you're in some other Emirate, if they're calling you to the interview in different Emirates, so you should know the locations, everything, so you can be on time. Always calculate the length of the journey, how you're going to go there, reach there. Is it like a 2 hours travel from your Emirate to this Emirate, or is it like within 10 minutes from the same area? You should calculate everything in before so you can be on time. Why I'm telling this one? Because this country is new to you. You're here as a fresher coder or as an experienced coder outside this country. Calculate all these things and then be on time. If it's not feasible, for example, if the interview has called you for an 8 o'clock interview and you're in different Emirate, you can always ask them for a different time after the like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or in the afternoon time. You can explain to them you are in some other Emirate right currently, so it will take time for you to travel from there to here. So consider all these things and inform them. They will understand, because all of them know that the expatriates, like the people who are coming from outside, will have all these issues, so they will understand easily and they will provide you an alternative time if it is needed. If it is needed with a valid reason, you can ask for a different time change. If it's not needed, you can go directly to that place. So always be on time. So the second tip here is, look your best. Of course, you should be looking your best during an interview, but consider you're going to an interview in a hospital setup. If you've been working in India or another country, you'll not be working in a hospital setup, you will be working in an office setup, right? So that culture, of course, in office setup, you'll be very groomed and everything will be cultured. The same thing applies here. They expect the employees to be very much cultured in dressing. Any formal attire as per the standard is very good enough. Be groomed, that's enough. And if you're a female, you can wear a very formal attire as well. Avoid the traditional dresses, like for example, if you don't wear saris, you can wear churidar, salwars and everything. Even many of the interview email itself, they would have mentioned that don't wear traditional dresses. So follow the rules accordingly, wear your formal dress. Your first impression is the best impression, right? So always try to make it the best impression to the interviewer. Also, your confidence is the best dress you can wear. Be confident, carry yourself very confident, tell them what and all you know, like that. So be at your best, look your best. The third most important point in this is research about that hospital or the company. Like, you got the interview call, you know the organization name, and you want to know about who they are, what they are and what they want in you. So how do you know? Most of the organization, I can say even all of the organization, all the medical centers, dental centers, hospitals, all have their own websites. So once you receive the interview email or the call, clearly note down what is the name of the organization that they called you for the interview. Search in the Google, just go and hit the search button with that name, go to their websites and see everything. This is the important thing that I encourage all the people who used to ask me for what should I go, I've been called for an interview, what is the next step, what should I know. I immediately tell them, did you know about that organization? What organization is that? What kind of hospital is that? Or what kind of medical center is that? What kind of services they have? So if you know what kind of specialties they have, what kind of services they provide, you can prepare your interview questions and answers yourself very well. You understand me, right? Like for example, say you've been called from a hospital, you have received a interview call from a hospital. Before going to that, search in the Google like the hospital name, go to their website and see. When you search, you will know what are the specialties they have. Are they a OB/GYN clinic? Are they an infertility clinic? Are they an ophtha clinic? Do they have physiotherapy? Do they have occupational therapy? Or do they have internal medicine, family medicine, general surgery, dental, orthodontics, orthopedics? So you should know what kind of specialties that organization or the hospital or the medical center that is called for you in interview has. Once you know that, you can very well start preparing in that, because they will ask questions only related to those specialties that they have. They will not get out of the box. You understand my point? So you should know what kind of hospital or medical center they are, what kind of specialties they facilitate in that organization, and what kind of multi-specialties or subspecialties they have in that organization. Also, you should be knowing whether it's an outpatient clinic, is it a day surgery center, or is it a physiotherapy clinic, or is it only a dental center, or is it a hospital with an emergency department or without an emergency department. So you should be knowing all these kind of scenarios. Once you get to know all these things, you can prepare yourself for that. Why I am telling you to research the company? You should prepare right. There's a difference between preparing in general and preparing the right way. I always encourage you to prepare the right way. So how you can prepare the right way? Research about that organization. Once you have researched, then you can prepare yourself accordingly. Also, when you research that organization, many of the hospitals, or almost all of the hospitals, will tell them under each specialty itself, will tell them what are they specialized in. For example, if that organization is a dental organization, they will be telling you what kind of procedures they are specialized in: orthodontics, endodontics, implants, crowns, bridges, these things. They will be like explaining all these things in detail. You will very well know what are these. You can research about that. You can learn a lot about that. That is how it helps when you research the company. So research your organization very well and then go for the interview. Definitely you will crack the interview. If you don't research the organization, if you go there, it will be quite blank because you've studied everything in general. You have a lot of things going on in your mind. But if you research properly, you have only specific things in mind, and whatever they ask you, you have all the answers. So fourth point here is prepare all the answers for the basic questions and also prepare your documents with you. When I'm telling you about prepare the answers for the basic questions, it covers tell me about yourself. If you're a fresher, you should tell about your educational background and how well you can perform in coding. Those kinds of answers you should be prepared. If you've already experienced in India or some other countries, you can prepare about yourself based on your experiences, based upon what kind of a person you are, what kind of specialties you have worked, and what kind of UAE exposure you have from your country, or at least what you know about UAE medical coding and everything. So you should prepare accordingly. Tailor your answer about yourself and about your experience in line with the UAE medical coding. Just don't tell them, I don't know anything about UAE coding, you should teach me. No, you should already know about the process. I'll just give you an outline of what is the process in UAE coding. UAE coding starts from the registration of the patient, from the eligibility check and everything, from the checking of the benefits. After that, the patient will be seeing a doctor with an insurance card, or if the patient doesn't have an insurance card, on a cash basis, which is called as self-pay basis. And then after the doctor has consulted, if he has ordered any other lab or radiology or what, then those things will be completed. There are some insurances that requires prior approval, which will be escalated to the approval team, or sometimes in many organizations, the coders, they will be taking the approval. Once it's approved, the same procedure or the labs or the radiology tests will be taken. After that, the patient has to pay the copay if it's applicable as per the insurance card that the patient owns. and then the patient leaves the facility. After the doctor has completed the documentation, the MR will be closed. Then it comes to the coding, where the coders will evaluate the documentation, code everything as per the rules and guidelines here, and then it will be going for the auditing. Many organizations do an audit process here. Once the auditing is over, it goes for submission. It is called as claim submission. So the coders will be processing the claims. They call it as claims. The files or the files of the patients are called as claims. That is going to be submitted to the insurance to get the amount claimed from the insurance company. Once the claims are submitted, then after some days, like for example 30 to 45 days, or sometimes it takes more time also, the remittance advice are received. It will be collected from the system, and then if there are any rejections, it will be worked upon, resubmitted by the resubmission team to the insurance company to get the payment. So this is the entire process. So the cycle goes on. Just giving you an outline so you will know, because if you are new to UAE, you should know what is this process. So if you want to learn more about this UAE medical coding process, please email me. I'll let you know the process. So this is the outline of the UAE medical coding. And I believe coders are involved in all various parts. Sometimes coders are involved in all the parts altogether. So you should know this outline, and also tailor your answers including your own experience, your experience in the country, which should align with the UAE coding expectations they have. You got my point, right? Along with this, prepare your documents. So always carry all your documents with you, a photocopy of that, or always you can have it in your emails. If you have been selected, immediately you can just give the documents whatever they require immediately. You can just email them. Always you can have it in a soft copy, or also you can have it in your email, your photos, your passport size photos and everything. So once you've been selected, you can provide the documents whatever they're asking for you. So prepare your documents in advance. So the 5th tips for the interview here is, always maintain a positive body language. Be very positive, speak very confidently. Whatever questions they ask, try to answer very politely in a very tailored manner. Don't like mumble the words. Even if you forgot it, just ask for a time, just tell them you know about the process, and if given chance, you are a quick learner and you can learn quickly. Just give all those positive vibes. Don't tell them I don't know anything like that and all those things. Yes, I know you will not know everything, but doesn't mean that you don't know nothing. You know something, right? Just tell them, highlight those things which you know already. Tell them your positives, tell them you're confident, tell them you're very good in mingling with the team, tell them all your potentials, tell them your qualification, tell them how good you were in India, in your organization, how much of an achiever you are, or how much of a team player you are. Tell them all these qualities. Definitely they'll get impressed, because medical coding in UAE is not like just coding, it's also mingling with the team, mingling with the doctor, mingling with the other staff members in the hospital. So it's always good if you show a positive body language. In UAE, all of your colleagues will be doctors, allied professions, nurses, and then medical coders, and everybody will be there. If you demonstrate a very positive body language, it will be like very much appealing to them to select you, thinking that you can mingle up with different nationalities, different levels of management, different levels of career people here. So the 6th point here is, demonstrate a strong communication skills and ask questions politely. Yes, you should have a strong communication skills. I'm not telling that you should be very well versed in English language. No, it doesn't mean like that, but you should be able to communicate in English, because there are multinationality people here from various countries. So the only language that connects all of them is English. So you should have a strong communication skills. You should be very much strong enough to communicate what you think, at least to communicate what about the medical coding. You should have that kind of communication skill. So don't like be a person of very few words. Give an impression that you can communicate very well, effectively and efficiently in English. In that way, you should talk to the interviewer. Communication is the key. The coders here in UAE has to communicate with the doctor, with the other staff, as I already told you before. So these people cannot be always from your own country. So you should have the strong communication skills. So strong communication skill, what will happen? The interviewer will start doubting you, because they will start thinking like, how can you effectively communicate a small information to the different language people here in English. So they will start doubting you, because that is also a job role of a medical coder, to communicate all the gaps in medical coding with the different departments. For example, if you have a doctor, if there is a documentation issue, or you want to explain, or if there is a new update, if the organization wants you to go and explain all these things to the doctor, you should have a strong communication skill to explain things to the doctor. And also you should be very much capable enough to understand what they are asking you. If they have any doubts, they'll ask the coder. So you should be capable enough to understand all those things and give an answer. In the interview, they're always looking for a good communication skill. So the seventh important tip is follow up with the interview team. Just before leaving from the interview, just ask them, when can you expect a call from them regarding the status of the interview, and you can just come out. Well, if they have given you like 2 or 3 days or a week, just follow up exactly after that day. Like for example, if they've told you we'll give you an answer after 3 days, you can call them if you have the contact number, or if you don't have a contact number, you can email them with the same interview invitation email, the invite they have sent you, right? With that email, you should just reply back to them. You can query about, or you can inquire about what is the status of your interview. You should follow up. Some organization will do it quickly. If they don't do it, you can very well follow up and ask about the status, and definitely they will answer your follow up. So always try to follow up. Just don't think by yourself that because they didn't call you, you're not selected. No, even if you're not selected, they should formally inform you, right? So you can very well ask them. It's good if they say like, sorry, we've been caught up with some other work, give us 2 more days or give us 1 more week for us to decide. You can give them another couple of days or a week to decide. Instead of thinking yourself, or instead of imagining that you have already decided the candidate, that's why they haven't given you a good proper answer. Just don't imagine those things. Follow up the interviewer in a very professional way. So this is all about the interview for those people who are looking for UAE job, for the freshers without any experience, but it's a bit hard to get. You should try your very level best for those people who are freshers, totally no experience from your own country or here. If you're looking for a job in UAE, it is really hard for you people to get job here, but if you're here, you can try for that, but it will be a bit hard. I'm just telling you the truth. But if you have experience from India and you're looking for UAE, I've given all the tips here. I think it will be beneficial for you. If you have any doubts like to prepare and all those things, you can very well ask it in the comment section below. I'll try to answer everything maximum with my ability. Kindly note that I don't provide any jobs. This is just an interview tips. If you like this video, please hit the like button. That will really mean a lot to me. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and hit the notification icon so you'll not miss any of my future videos. In my next video, I'll be covering about the interview tips for experienced coders, UAE experienced coders. If you want to move from one organization to another organization, you want the tips in that, you can very well put it in the comment section below. I'll prepare that one as well. See you in the next video. This is Surya Johnson, your medical coding guide. Thank you.